Hi, I'm Louise, and I have just had a past life regression session with Surekha. I met Surekha in Rishikesh for the first time. I found a flyer. I was given a flyer about a workshop, but I was actually too late to get on the workshop. And Surekha suggested that we meet for a coffee after the workshop was completed on the third day. I'd always had an interest in past life regression. Didn't really know whether or not I believed it or whether or not it was something for me. Never seeked it out. But when it came up, it just felt like, right, I'm really interested. So when I met Surekha, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. When I met Surekha, we just went for a coffee, and but it felt like a very warm feeling, like a very familiar warm feeling. And she said that she lived in Mumbai, and I was stopping here on my last part of my trip to India. I was really ready to have the session. I think something like that would have scared me before as well. I feel like it had to be the right time for something like this. So anyway, I went to the first session. I was very geared up. I was really enthusiastic to go. It felt like the right time. And when we started to go through the process on the first session, it came up that actually my late grandfather was kind of getting in the way of my past life regression, because Surekha realised that I was possibly hosting him as a spirit. So instead of the past life regression on the first time, it ended up being an aura cleanse. And during that aura cleanse, I found I had a lot of spirits attached to me, including pets and other family members. And as the session progressed, and as there was more and more people and animals who kind of surfaced, and I asked to walk into the light and ask for forgiveness just in case there was karma there, I just kept feeling lighter and lighter. And by the end of it, when we finished, I almost felt like I was going to float away because I felt so light. And the funny thing is, when I went back to my friend's house, she, after seeing me that afternoon, she said, "Louise, you look like a different person." I felt like a different person, but I felt like myself. It felt like the first time I'd actually just been myself, because I think my grandfather was actually possibly with me before I was born, or when I was born, because he died before I was born anyway, so who knows how long he was with me, but it was a long time. There was also spirits who were helping me. I mean, he probably was helping me in his own way, but there was just a lot going on, and I just felt so clear and clean and myself. I changed my hairstyle the next day. Everything just feels like me for the first time, properly like me. So Surekha said the second time, she said, "Look, right, let's do the past life regression though while you're still here, because it's my last week in India." And I was like, right, because I'm so ready to do this. So today, I've just finished it, not long ago now. We managed to go through, it was 6 in the end, past lives that came up, all relating to my life now. And I have to say they were quite brutal, some of them, but I felt that any time if it was something was very emotional, and Surekha calmed me down and said that I can detach from it, which was really helpful. So I felt it was a safe distance from things, even though sometimes you feel feelings that are similar, but you know that you can come out of them. Went through to very ancient times. I even got to some prehistoric stuff, I think, I feel, possibly. Going through Victorian eras, lots of things that I didn't really realise. I didn't realise that my soul had been in the UK quite so much, in Europe. That was a bit of a surprise, but then it went back to Africa. None came up in India, which I was quite surprised about, but I'm sure I must have some here. But basically, after this session had finished, the last bit was in a very pure light realm I was in, and it was almost going back to pre-birth place or your higher self, a very clear, clean, light stage, and found who the people were in my life who were also around helping me in sort of an angelic realm, and to ask them what to do for my life, which felt like it was getting clearer at each past life. The issues that I have now, all of them became more solidified and more clear, and what I have to do and what the message was from each life was very, very, very clear. And I've had some very, very harsh lessons, and in this life I've had some very harsh lessons, so obviously it was all still trying to teach me lots of things, and I really feel like this path for me, the healing path, has been going on for about 2-3 years in a very, very, very determined, focused way, and this meeting Surekha feels like it was a pinnacle of that process that's been going on for 3 years. So all these things don't happen overnight, but all of them part of this process, and the healing that I've had and that I've allowed myself, or that I've found in India, culminating in seeing Surekha in literally my last 2 days in India, has been completely life-changing. So I don't think my friends at home are barely going to recognise me, or maybe they'll recognise me more than they did before, because there was about 10 other people with me. So I can't recommend it enough. I just felt so light, even coming down from heaven for a little while, coming back. Just literally, I feel taller, I feel lighter again. I didn't think I could feel more light after the last session, but I feel even lighter. I feel like my hearing is clearer, I feel like my voice is clearer. I feel like my body is lighter, yeah. It's like everything, a weight being lifted, literally. My mind is clearer. It's a very profound process, and I can only highly recommend it if you are well and truly ready to do it. You will know if you're ready to do it, and you find it. So thank you, Surekha.